This is the Best of the Week on Relevant Radio.
Father Dave Heney is with us here on The Inner Life.
Father, what does white smoke mean just for our listeners as we're getting ready?
So white smoke means that one of the cardinals or one person in the world has received more than 89 votes. That means that a new pope has been chosen. The cardinals have selected a new pope faster than anyone anticipated. I thought most people would thought it would be tomorrow or maybe even Saturday. So this means that the cardinals in the Sistine Chapel have selected our new Holy Father.
Wow. It's a time for rejoicing. It's time for celebration, friends.
The first thing that happens always after the election, after it's announced that such and such a person has received enough votes, the person running the election will walk over to that cardinal and say, "Do you accept?" That's an extremely important concept because freedom is always of the essence of everything in our faith. So they have to say to this cardinal, "Do you accept? Do you freely accept this position?" And apparently that cardinal said yes. So they immediately take all the ballots, they burn them with a chemical that makes white smoke. And that signals to the world that we do have a new pope. That pope is now, the minute he says yes, the exact second that he says, "Yes, I accept," that's the moment he becomes pope. It's not the ceremony or the mass later on. It's the moment he says yes. It's like Mary saying, "Let it be done to me according to your word." That moment was the conception of Jesus. This moment is the birth of the new pope. So the pope is immediately taken into a small sacristy type room where they don't know who's going to be elected pope. So they have several papal vestments, small, medium, and large, if you will. He's vested in those garments. And then fairly soon, he'll be taken to that beautiful balcony on the front of St. Peter's. And the cardinal deacon will announce, "Habemus Papam." We have a pope. And then the next thing he will do is announce the name. And the name is always highly symbolic. It's always very meaningful. Pope John Paul I took the names of John and Paul together. Pope John Paul II continued that tradition. Benedict chose a pope who was famous for bringing peace to the world. And then Francis iconically chose the name of St. Francis I. No one had ever chosen that name ever in history. It was like too big. And yet Francis chose that name, Francis I. So we'll have that beautiful phrase, "Habemus Papam." Good news and bad news. We'll hear it right away. Unfortunately, they always give it in Latin.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We kind of have to figure out, did he say Bob? I don't think so. But,
That's right. That's right.
They don't rush him. They don't push him. He's in charge.
Okay.
So look at that. I'm seeing it right now. There's just billows of white smoke coming out. There's just no mistaking. Sometimes in the past, the chemicals have been off and they've been kind of ambiguous. But this is an amazing scene of just billowing white smoke coming out of the Vatican.
I'm seeing it as well. It's hard to mistake that. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We have white smoke coming from the Sistine Chapel, the chimney at the Sistine Chapel, which means a new Holy Father, a new Pope has been elected now for the Catholic Church around the world. Our prayers have been answered. We are excited to be able to cover this for you in this feast of Easter. We're right in the middle of the Feast of Easter. Of course, we knew before that it was such a blessing that our Holy Father was able to make it into the Easter season, giving some Easter blessings on Easter Sunday, Pope Francis, of course, and then dying on Easter Monday. What a great time in the Easter octave to enter into eternal life. And now we have a new Holy Father who will be taking up the chair of St. Peter, becoming St. Peter's next successor, the 267th Pope. Looking online, the crowds at St. Peter's Square, well, they are gathered. The bells are ringing at St. Peter's Basilica, which indeed indicates that they have reached a decision and a new Holy Father has been elected. Crowds are cheering. They're waiting with anticipation, as we are, to meet the man who is our next Holy Father, our next Pope here for the Catholic Church. Like what you just heard? Share it with your family and friends. And thanks for listening.